Hey guys, so as more of us transition to working from home nowadays, what I hear quite a lot is that people are snacking more and having more food cravings. And because of that, I've been asked quite a lot on how to stop food cravings, and I thought it would be good for me to talk about it today. Now, discussing food cravings is just such a broad topic because there are so many reasons why you might be experiencing food cravings. One large factor being stress. You know, when you are really stressed, when you experience stress, your body has higher levels of cortisol, and cortisol is the hormone that your body produces when you are feeling really stressed out. Another huge reason is your hormonal levels. For women, if you're experiencing your period, or sometimes for guys, you know, when you're having like hormonal imbalances, that can really affect your food cravings, and your body's natural reaction is for you to crave sugar. Sleep deprivation is another reason for food cravings because when you lack sleep, you lack the energy, your body is going to crave more food because that's going to give you the energy for you to sustain throughout your day. Fun fact, there are two main hormones that regulate hunger, ghrelin and leptin, and these two hormones are affected by your sleep. Ghrelin helps to stimulate your appetite while leptin decreases it. And when you lack sleep, your ghrelin levels increase while your leptin levels fall, which makes you more hungry. So in general, these are just some factors you might want to be aware about because I think that it will give you a better idea on why you might be craving food. That being said, there are also many things that you can do to curb those food cravings when they come. Drinking water. Now, I know I've said this many times before, but I feel I need to emphasize it again. A lot of the time, thirst is often confused as hunger or food cravings. What I find is that when people are staying home more often, they tend to be drinking a lot less water. Like even for myself, when I'm just sitting at my desk, I tend to forget to hydrate myself throughout the day. So when I feel snackish or munchy or kind of want to reach for something to eat, I ask myself first, have I drunk enough water? And chances are, I have not. So something that I do for myself and that I also recommend a lot of my clients do is to do this little thing I call the water test, which is to drink about 500 to 600 ml of water, so about this much, and then wait for 10 to 15 minutes. And then at the end of those 15 minutes, ask yourself, am I still hungry? If you're not, chances are that you are just thirsty and not actually craving food. And I find that at night when I'm especially snackish, like I want to grab a cookie or a biscuit or something like that, I do this and then I find that my craving actually goes down by a good 50% or more, and then that just shows me that I'm just thirsty and not actually craving food. If you've done the water test but you're still feeling hungry, then I think it's okay for you to give in just a little, especially if you generally eat healthy. Just practice portion control when you do so. So if you're eating chips or you're having some popcorn when you're watching TV, then measure out a palm-sized amount. So this is good to have, large palms because the larger your palm, the more you get to snack. And if you want a healthier alternative, you can also try dark chocolate. Now this is one of my personal favorites. Like I think I probably have dark chocolate, I want to say almost every single day, but there are just so many great properties to dark chocolate. They have antioxidants, they're packed with good nutrients, and they also help you release endorphins and puts you to sleep with a smile on your face. So this is why I love having dark chocolate, and it just contains way less sugar than your milk chocolate or your sugary treats. And just a little personal tip, because I love dark chocolate and I'm very passionate about my dark chocolate, try to get something that's more than 50% cocoa, because anything less than that is milk chocolate or shouldn't be. I don't know. If they say that they're anything less than 50%, they're lying. So when you get dark chocolate, this is what the bar looks like. And I'm not saying to eat the entire thing, just portion yourself, maybe eat about 2 to 3 squares. So like this much. Oops. So when I'm eating dark chocolate, I eat about this amount. And the thing about dark chocolate is that it's so rich that you wouldn't be eating it in large amounts anyway. Eating more protein and healthy fats can also help you stave off those hunger pangs. But besides your proteins and your carbs, it's also important for you to keep every single meal balanced, which is why I think it's good for you to incorporate some healthy fats. Things like salmon, avocado, nuts and seeds are all jam-packed with omega-3s, which is good for your heart health. And similar to protein, it keeps you fuller for longer, which makes you crave food less throughout the day. But a general rule of thumb is to have half your plate filled with vegetables, about a palm-sized amount of carbohydrates, and to have a fist-sized amount of protein. And in terms of your healthy fats, you can incorporate it with the kind of oils that you use, or also by having some snacks or like nuts throughout the day. Another great tip is to create habits that condition the mind. After every single meal, I like to end it off with a hot drink, like some hot coffee or some tea tea, and that signals the end of my meal. This reduces my temptation to snack or overeat after my meal. Caffeine is also a natural appetite suppressant, which is why I like to end off my meals with some coffee, because that prevents me from getting hungry later on. But if you're a coffee drinker, remember to still drink a lot of water because you can get very dehydrated from coffee. And if that doesn't work, then get off your chair and go for a walk around your neighborhood as a physical distraction from your cravings. I always say that if you don't buy snacks, then you won't have anything to snack on even if you're craving it. So one tip that I have is to make it hard for you to get to your snacks, literally. Keep your unhealthy snacks in hard to reach places. So for example, I have my potato chips over here. I'm gonna keep it at my topmost shelf of my kitchen cabinet. Yeah. It's away, out of sight, and out of mind. For your healthier snacks, put them in more accessible areas like your countertops. So over here, I have some baked walnuts and almonds, and I also have some mixed seeds and dried apricots. That way, if you're craving something, then you always gravitate towards the healthier snacks first. You can also keep your snacks in Tupperware containers so that it's less visible to you than keeping it out in the open. So true story, in our Click Network office, we used to keep all our snacks out in the open, and then one day, there was a little cockroach that emerged, so everybody freaked out and we called the pest control. So the pest control came in and told us that we need to store all our open snacks in container boxes. So that's what we did, and miraculously, the entire office stopped snacking so much. I think it's because when you put the snacks in the boxes, it's a lot less visible to you, and just in general, when you're looking at these boxes, you can't really tell what's inside it, so you're a lot less tempted to want to open it and start snacking. So one good thing is that we stopped snacking, and the other good thing is that there were no more cockroaches. Another thing that I highly recommend is to never go to the supermarket when you're hungry. When you're hungry, there's a higher tendency for you to impulse buy snacks. So to combat that, try to schedule your grocery runs after your meals. Get an accountability buddy. Similar to having a gym buddy, get a friend or family member to keep you accountable. You can send each other photos of your meals and just spur each other on to eat healthier. This is something that I also do with my personal training clients. I get them to send me 3 days worth of their meals so that I get a better understanding of the kind of foods that they're eating, how healthy it is, and what their portion sizes are. And when you're experiencing those cravings, your accountability buddy is there to encourage you not to snack or to at least choose the healthy option. And if you feel as though you don't have that kind of support within your friends or your family members, like nobody is interested in fitness or health, then you can always join the No Sweat community on the No Sweat app. Over there, you have a bunch of like-minded individuals who are all just motivated to reach their fitness goals, and I think it can really serve as a good support system for you if you feel like you don't have it in your own life. And if you're interested in joining us, just download the app from your respective app stores. Just purchase any plan and you'll have access to a community where we host live stream chats and workouts every other week. This is a time for me to connect with you guys, for you guys to motivate each other and to keep each other accountable as you move towards your fitness goals. Essentially, I don't want anyone to feel alone on their fitness journey, so if you want, you're always welcome to join us. And if you're not disciplined with your eating, then try keeping a food log. In your phone or in your notebook, just list out everything you've eaten in a day. This gives you a breakdown of everything you eat in a day and gives you a better understanding of what your eating habits are really like. And you'll be surprised, some people when they keep their food log, they realize that they're eating a lot more than they actually think they do. And for some people that are eating much less than they think they do. And some people who think that they're eating actually very, very healthy realize that a big portion of their food is actually not very optimal for reaching their goals. So I think that just having that awareness will serve you really well when you have a fitness goal to accomplish. Tracking your food also helps you to adjust your diet because it tells you, the foods that you either need to eat more and things that you need to eat less. For example, if you're eating a lot of deep fried foods or carb-heavy meals, then maybe you want to cut back on that. And if you're not eating enough vegetables or fruit, maybe these are some things that you want to incorporate more into your diet. So we've come to the end of today's episode. I hope these tips were useful for you the next time you have food cravings. As I mentioned earlier, we launched the No Sweat app so you can get started on your fitness journey. With the app, you'll get personalized workouts that are tailored to your fitness goals. You'll also get other perks like one-on-one fitness assessments from me. I do personally respond to everyone who writes to me on the app, access to live chats and live stream workouts, and even exclusive invites to meet and greet sessions. You'll get your first week for free the moment you download the app, and after that, you have the option of signing up for a 1-year, 3-month, or 1-month plan. And if you join our 1-year plan, you also get a free set of No Sweat resistance bands. You can also get these resistance bands on our merch store, so head on over there if you're looking for a light and compact way to add some resistance to your home workouts. We also made an exclusive instructional video that you'll have access to when you purchase these bands. And as with all our other videos, please remember to give this one a thumbs up, click the subscribe button and hit the little bell so you never miss a notification every time we post a new video. Or you can download the Click Network app to watch our videos over there. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye!